Hey guys, what's up? Today we're going to talk about how to get the old school film look in your photos to the computer. So, here we have a photo which I took in OTB. Now, this is shot at ISO 118 millimeters at a 5.6 at 1/320th of it. So as you can see, this is the thing. The color profile is in neutral. If you think the picture is in dull, picture is very dull. It's because the color profile is neutral. To the edit. First thing you have to remember is films never show complete black or complete dark. It never reaches pure black or pure white. So we'll edit according to that. First, let's increase the vibrance a bit to get some colors because there aren't any. Let's increase the saturation a tad bit. Okay, let's not increase the saturation. Okay, so we are gonna go and take this point, put it all the way up here, and take this point, put it all the way down here. As I said, films never go full black or full white. There is no pure white or pure black in film. You increase the midpoint like so. You take the shadows and you dupe them. You obliterate them, and you're trying to get it somewhere around this. And then you're going to pull this a little bit further, maybe adjust it. What you're trying to do is get very overexposed highlights while at the same time not making a particular portion of the photo very blown out or extremely overexposed to the point that there is no detail. But you also want this fall off. Okay, cool. Now that we have this, we are going to increase the vibrance, maybe increase saturation. Okay, keep it here and we'll go for it. Now let's all neutralize all of this. I don't know how this happened. Anyway, this is how it looks. We are going to go to the color grading section, and we are going to take the shadows and make it a little bit cyan. And if you look at old Kodak films, this is how their color grade is. You can also add green to the shadows if you're trying to get a different kind of film look. Kodak films usually had a little bit of blue cyan in the highlights, in the shadows, and a lot of yellow in the highlights. And you can see what is happening here. I'm having yellow, and I'm going to make the shadows up a bit, and I'm going to put this one down a bit. And what you see here is a nice little bit of contrast. Okay. Now you can dial the exposure down. Okay, maybe increase the contrast a tad bit. Now make sure whatever you're doing, don't make the shadows a bit too black or don't make the shadows a bit too overexposed. Keep it right in the middle. Have some mid-tones, yellow to the mid-tones, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna bring the highlights up, but we're going to compensate by moving the whites back, as you can see here. I'm going to bring the highlights back up, and we're going to increase the shadows, bring the blacks a little bit down, and we can see it's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to move the shadows up. Bring the exposure down, and let's add a little bit of magenta, and then we can add a little bit of warmth in this image because it's missing that. So let's add a little bit of warmth, increase the temperature, and you can see we are kind of getting somewhere, right? Let's increase the highlights a little bit more because we want that. We want that thing, that blown out highlight. That is the feature that we all want. Increase the saturation, and now we are going for the hue, saturation, and luminance or the HSR. We're gonna make the reds a little bit more orangish. We're gonna make the oranges a little bit more yellowish, if you will. I'm gonna make the yellows a little bit more orangish, I think, yellowish. Okay. And we're gonna make the greens a little bit more yellowish. Just keep it over here. And increase the aqua stays here. We're gonna go to the saturation. Increase the blue and the aqua and the red. Red stay here. We're gonna go to the yellow and the orange and yellow. Okay, as you can see, now if you don't like the exposure, you can always bring the exposure down a little. That's up to you. You can always change it. But I like where this is going. But it's still not complete, right? So bring the make the shadows like this. Okay, let's make it. Bring the shadows up from the color grading section because that's important. You're gonna see this little bit of a glow in the shadow areas. That is important. Let's blend it more towards. Okay, now let's keep the blending mode. Okay. And we're going to balance it more towards the highlight side. And then we're going to go to the grain section, add a little bit of a grain, and add a little bit of size, and a little bit of a roughness. Now why are we adding grains? Because that's how film photos look. They're not the most sharp of the images. And there you have it. Lift the shadows up a little. This time. Yeah. And as you can see, this is a fairly, what should I say, replicates the film look a lot. Let's add a little bit of more yellow to the midtones maybe, and bring up the shadows a little bit more. I don't know, maybe like this. Yeah. Now you can adjust to taste. What is important here is that the highlights and the shadows have a different color, and the shadows should not be perfect black, and the highlights should not be perfectly white. So there's no pure black or pure white. Add a little bit of grain and choose any color grade that you want. What you'll have is something like this, and then you can adjust according to taste.